How much pressure do we believe Musk and the company's under right now?
You know, I think Elon is really just laying out a conservative tack. He's trying to message this correctly, to tell people work hard because there are some changes that are going to happen over the course of 19. And the key point that I'd really like to make is this reduction in force should have been anticipated. This is very similar to what we saw in the front end of the Model S, where they had some aggressive hiring and additional staff to make the ramp successful. And today we're seeing them pare back the headcount very much the same way they did on the ramp of the Model S.
Right. How likely, or how important, I should say, is it to get a 3 on the market for $35K, and by when does that need to happen at scale?
That's an excellent question. So the 35 grand, I think, is not entirely essential, right? They've created a market. They've been able to show that they can sell that thing for, 50 grand or 50 grand plus. There is a real market of size for the Model 3 at the $50,000 price point. Realistically, though, for them to see the growth that's expected by the street, they do need to get the price down to 35 grand. And, I see that as an extraordinarily difficult thing for them to accomplish. I actually don't think they will accomplish it.
So, Craig, this U.S. tax credit that has certainly been an incentive to buy these cars, halved right now, drops again in July, goes away by the end of the year. How much of a part of the story is that?
The tax credit's been known for years, right? So it's a speed bump. It's a known headwind. It's something that will impact sales velocity to an extent this year. It probably did drive a little bit of a hockey stick in the fourth quarter as everybody's rushing to take deliveries before they lose a couple grand and maybe lose even more if they were going to buy in the summer. But I don't see this as a monumentous headwind. I see this as a moderate headwind because really they're going to be transitioning their focus over to Europe and Asia over the next couple quarters.
Yeah, where the economy's not so good, Craig. We're looking at Germany and wondering whether they're already in recession. We know what's happened to the Chinese consumer. And it seems like every high-end name we've gotten here stateside, Nordstrom, Tiffany, and others are suggesting weakness in the upper-end consumer. How is that not a liability for Tesla?
It is an obvious liability. You guys know that, 5 years ago when I was visibly super bullish on Tesla, that was not the dynamic. The dynamic now is a large part of my conservatism on the name.
Are you worried at all about the competition, what we've seen, especially from overseas automakers like Daimler and VW when it comes to electric cars? Are they getting the cost formula right, or at least better?
That's an excellent question, because one of the things I've been saying to investors is that the actual battery prices that Tesla's paying are dramatically different than what the company claims. You can actually go to hard economic data out of Japan that shows their battery price is somewhere around $230, $240 a kilowatt hour at the cell level. So I know from my personal contacts that the VW cells for the production that will ramp or start ramping for VW and Porsche later this year is at $250 a kilowatt hour. So there really is no competitive moat on the battery side like people have assumed or thought or maybe dreamed. The production capabilities of these big OEMs is very, very real. So I think, the competitive pressure that Tesla's going to face is going to be pretty interesting in the back end of the year. It really will be a function of the overall will of these large OEMs to take share back from Tesla.